Hey Google, why do the rich get richer?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Now, if the almighty Google doesn't understand how money works and why the rich get richer, how is the average person supposed to understand this? This is what I'll be talking about in this video. What's up, fruitful investors? In today's video, I'll be talking about the 5 reasons why the rich get richer. Now, did you know that the 1%, own more than 38% of all the money in the United States? And yes, it is very similar to here in Canada as well. Now, they own more wealth than the bottom 90% combined. So why is this? Why do the rich continue to get richer and the poor continue to get poor? And in this day and age, the poor middle class is getting bigger and bigger, okay? So number one, the number one reason why the rich get richer is because they're taught or they learned about money at some point in their life. Now, have you ever learned about money in school or from your parents? Probably not. The majority of people have not. I know I didn't when I was a kid, and when I was in school, all I was taught was about geometry, parallelograms, solving for x, old history, religion, etc., which have their place. We need to know these things a little bit. But how come in school, and especially in high school and post-secondary, we are not taught about money and how money works? We're not taught how to do our taxes. We're not taught to invest our money and why compounding growth is so powerful. We're not taught about how to build businesses or be entrepreneurs. That is for damn sure. The average school system is not built for entrepreneurs. It is built for employees, to build workers, show up at 9 in the morning and leave at 3 or leave at 5, etc. School system is building workers. So if you're a natural entrepreneur, right, which some of us are, you are probably going to struggle or fail a lot in school. I know I did. I struggled very much. I didn't understand why until recently, in my early 20s, mid 20s. Oh, I'm actually an entrepreneur type of personality. That's why I kind of sucked in school. Now, when I wanted to do well in school, I did very well, but I just didn't care about the structured system. It wasn't for me. I would rather do my own thing, okay? So this is the biggest reason why the rich get richer, because their parents are teaching them about money and how to continue to make money, how to invest, how to buy businesses, how to run businesses, etc., while the majority of people are just taught to be employees. Show up at this time, leave at this time, do what you gotta do, barely pass, barely do your job and leave. That's how the majority of people are being taught to live in 2018 and beyond. And this is why so many people are struggling, especially now when the economy is changing. The world of money is completely changing way faster than it was in the 70s, 80s, 90s. And people aren't catching on. They're still doing old world strategies. Go to school, get good grades, go to college, get in debt like crazy, come out there with a useless diploma that won't get you a job. And even if it does, you're only gonna make $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year, even though you're $100,000 in debt, etc. People are still believing this terrible lie. Nobody is educating themselves, or unfortunately, having their mind opened to different ways of life, entrepreneurship, investing, building businesses, etc. And if more people had this opportunity, just average people had this opportunity, they might do better in life. So the parents of the rich parents are teaching their kids on how to be rich and how to stay rich. And it's not that hard. Once you understand money and how money works, in order to become wealthy, especially today, it's actually getting easier. Why? Because so many people are getting dumber and dumber. And for the majority of them, it's not their fault, okay? They're just not being opened up to this world. So if you are a hardworking person, you're creative, you have an entrepreneur type personality, it is actually easier for you to get wealthy and build a business in this day and age than it was 10, 20, 30 years ago. You can do online businesses so easily now with such little money, Amazon FBA, drop shipping, social media marketing agencies, whatever, being a photographer, making videos for people. It's endless nowadays, the amount of jobs you can do and careers you can do without having to go to school at all. Self-education is another thing, another bonus tip I'm gonna add in here that the rich are using more and more, especially nowadays. Self-education is so important. Don't rely on teachers, parents, friends, neighbors, professors to teach you about life and how to make money, okay? If they're a professor at a university teaching you about money, I don't understand. Why are they a teacher at university? It makes no sense. Learn from the masters. Learn from people who are actually doing in that field. And that's what the rich kids are being exposed to from their parents. They see their their parents' friends who are entrepreneurs, who are also living in $1 million house in California. And they have this mentality of that's what they expect. They expect that level of success. And that's what they're going to get, because the mind is a very, very powerful thing, and it gets what it focuses on most. If you focus on being sad and depressed and how unfair the system is, blaming Donald Trump, blaming Barack Obama, Democrats, Republicans, etc., that's the life you will get. More pain. If all you think about is pain and discomfort, the universe will give you more pain and discomfort. If you think as yourself as rich, wealthy, successful, knowledgeable, powerful, what do you think the universe is going to give you? That's only half the equation. It's very powerful. The power of the mind. That is another whole topic, another whole video I should talk about soon. But this is what the rich kids are being exposed to from their wealthy parents. They are being taught about money and how life actually works in the real world. Not in the textbooks, not in the classrooms with the professors who say this is how business should work. They're learning about how business is actually working in the real life. How to read personalities, how to talk to an introvert rather than an extrovert. They're learning how to be social. They're learning how to build businesses. These are things we are not learning in the regular school system. It is too damn bad. It almost smells like a conspiracy. And you know how I feel about conspiracies. Number 2 reason why the rich continue to get richer is because they're getting paid based on their value, not on how many hours they work. This is like rich, wealthy 101. You want to get paid based on your value. You want to get rid of this employee job where you get paid 25 bucks an hour, 35 bucks an hour, 50 bucks an hour, 100 bucks an hour. I don't care. You're still going to be broke. Oh my God, he makes 100 bucks an hour. You're still going to be broke. You want to really focus on how to make thousands an hour and how to hire other people to do things for you and systemize that so you can make several thousands an hour and more. This is what the rich and the wealthy are doing. They're not focusing on hourly wages. That is completely out the window. That is a middle class and a poor class lie that the system, the government, the economy, I don't care what you want to say, that is the lie that we've been told over and over again, is to get a good job, get good grades, get a good job, get a good hourly wage, and you'll have a good life. Well, look what's going on out there. Is that true? Absolutely not, especially in 2018 when the poor middle class is getting bigger and bigger. So this is why we want to focus on getting paid for our value. For example, I am a real estate agent who specializes solely with investors. This is all I do every single day, 24 hours a day. How much value do you think I provide rather than a regular realtor, a mom and dad realtor who sells the average home with a white picket fence when it comes to investing? I provide way more value, and that's why investors come to me specifically, and that is why I can help them much more than a regular realtor does, and that's why I get paid more. Also, I'm a real estate investor. I provide housing for a human being to live in. If you see my videos, my property walkthroughs, you know how nice my properties are and the amount of, or the quality of tenants that I attract because of those nice properties. So how much value am I providing as a real estate entrepreneur in this economy? A lot. I'm providing someone a house to live in, which is why I'm getting rewarded with more money. I also flip properties. So I renovate properties and sell them on the market to happy buyers. How much of a service am I providing as opposed to an everyday plumber or an optometrist or a dentist or whatever? Those are easily replaceable jobs. Almost anybody can do them if they go to the school and pay the money and get out and do those jobs or whatever. They're easily replaceable. There's a ton of those people out there. How many real estate investors are actually out there providing safe housing for people? Very little, okay? Very little. I'm talking about good quality housing, not just houses for rentals, okay? So you want to get paid based on your value, and you will see you will get paid much, much more. You'll make way more money when you start charging based on your value. And again, this is what the rich are teaching their kids and what they're doing as well. They're getting paid based on the value, not on the hourly wages, okay? Number 3, they're also long-term thinkers. The average Joe out there, they're very short-term thinkers. They get their paycheck and they buy things that make them feel good about themselves or feel rich, okay? This is why we have big screen TVs, why we go and buy a cottage, a second home 3 hours away from the primary residence. Makes no sense for me. They're buying boats, they're buying whatever, they're buying shit. Cars, way nicer cars than they deserve, okay? So this is what the rich don't do. They sacrifice now for later. They're long-term thinkers. They know that if I hustle right now and I don't buy the Starbucks coffees, I don't go out for dinner every Friday and spend $200 on a meal for my family, you know, this crazy shit that the average person does, they don't do those type of things. They save their money, they make more money on top of that, and they invest their money into things that make them more money. Okay, it's not rocket science, it just takes discipline and a little bit of hustle. Now the fourth reason why the rich continue to get richer is because they're often very obsessed with winning. Now the more I become an entrepreneur, the more I hang out with more entrepreneurs, the more I help more real estate investors, the more I realize that the people I'm hanging out with are kind of like me, and they're very obsessed with winning, which is very different from the majority of the people out there who are just okay with mediocrity. Whether they know it or not, okay, they're okay with mediocrity and they don't understand what it's like to be us, which is kind of crazy. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing to be an entrepreneur who's obsessed with winning. It's not all good, believe me. But that's really the type of mentality they have. And the more like I said, the more I hang out with more people, the more I realize that entrepreneurs are really born. They're not, you can't really learn to be an entrepreneur to a certain extent. Some people are just not cut out to be an entrepreneur. They're meant to be worker bees. That's just the way it is. You know, not everybody is meant to be an NBA player. You know, I will never beat LeBron James in basketball. I was just not built for it. I'm too short, I'm too skinny, I'm not strong enough, there's no way. But am I built to be an entrepreneur who's obsessed with winning? I've been that way my whole life. As long as I can remember, whatever I was passionate about, I had to win. I had to be the best for myself. Now this can get bad. You can go to the way over to the dark side where you just want to win for the sake of winning, and that's not cool, you know. So I want to win for freedom. I want to win for myself because I can feel good about myself. I can feel good about what I accomplished. I know that if I continue kicking ass in real estate, it will allow me to live my ideal life, which is chilling on the beach, in the tropics, eating a ton of fruit, off grid, in the jungle, while my business just keeps kicking ass in the background. I keep making money every month on my rental properties. That's what I'm obsessed with. I'm obsessed with winning that damn goal so much you have no idea. It's all I think about, honestly. That's all I do is work and think and strategize. This is what the rich are doing. They're obsessed with winning. Okay, so number 5, the last reason why the rich get richer is, as I just said, they hang out with like-minded people. So they don't hang out with depressed, sad people who are blaming the government, blaming their boss, blaming their friends, their neighbors, their family for the reasons why they suck, why they have bad luck. You know, I don't want to diss tenants or make them seem worse than they are, because there's some fantastic tenants. I have some great people, but I work with a lot of tenants when I try to rent out my properties. I meet a lot of people and I go over a lot of people's financial situations when they're applying for my rental properties to live in. And the more I meet the average Joe, the more I just realize how lost people are and how bad it really is out there, how much people are struggling with money. It's crazy. But their mentality, I can see it within 2 seconds of meeting someone and just talking to them when it comes to money or what they think about how the world works. And it's pretty disgusting how they immediately blame someone else. They never take responsibility. It's always somebody else's fault. The one line I always hear the most is, I have bad luck. I never seem to have good luck. I had this one tenant who is usually always late every month on rent by 10 or 15 days. They always pay. It's been like this for like 3 years. They always pay, 10 to 15 days late. But the excuse they use all the time is, I can't seem to find any luck. I'm always getting bad luck. Is it the luck or is it you, man? And that's really the life story for most people out there. You have to change your thinking. As I said at the beginning of this video, your mind is an extremely, extremely powerful force, and you want to just take in positivity and feel it, believe it. It sounds like some hippie bullshit, but I'm telling you, the more you do this, the hippie bullshit will come true. It's weird how it happens. I can't explain it. I'm trying to figure out how to explain it with science and reasoning. I haven't found anything yet, but you know what? I'm going to continue doing it because that's what the other rich people I know are also doing. And I see everybody around me in my close circle having a lot of success, myself included. So I'm going to continue doing what they do and what I'm doing. Why would I change it up and do what everybody else is doing, which is bitching, depressed, the government's fault, my mom's fault, my dad's fault, etc., etc. I ain't going out that way. So that's the video. If you learned anything, if you like this video, please click like right below to find out about how you can get access to my 12 free video series where I show you how to invest in real estate from A to Z. You can find out more about that by clicking on the link right below. And to find out more about my real estate investing apprenticeship program, about how you can partner with me one-on-one and I can teach you how to invest in real estate while we buy a property together. You can find out more about that by clicking right about here. I'll see you in the next video.